Tupac Amaru Shakur, born Lesane Parish Crooks, June 16, 1971 to September 13, 1996, also known by his stage names Tupac and Machiavelli, was an American rapper. He is widely considered one of the most influential and successful rappers of all time. Shakur is among the best-selling music artists, having sold more than 75 million records worldwide. Much of Shakur's music has been noted for addressing contemporary social issues that plagued inner cities. Shakur was born in New York City to parents who were both political activists and Black Panther Party members. Raised by his mother, Afeni Shakur, he relocated to Baltimore in 1984 and to the San Francisco Bay Area in 1988. With the release of his debut album Tupacalypse Now in 1991, he became a central figure in West Coast hip-hop for his conscious rap lyrics. Shakur achieved further critical and commercial success with his follow-up albums Strictly for My Ngaz, 1993, and Me Against the World, 1995. His diamond-certified album All Eyes on Me, 1996, the first double-length album in hip-hop history, abandoned his introspective lyrics for volatile gangsta rap. In addition to his music career, Shakur also found considerable success as an actor, with his starring roles in Juice, 1992, Poetic Justice, 1993, Above the Rim, 1994, Bullet, 1996, Gridlocked, 1997, and Gang Related, 1997. During the later part of his career, Shakur was shot 5 times in the lobby of a New York recording studio and experienced legal troubles, including incarceration. In 1995, Shakur served 8 months in prison on sexual abuse charges, but was released pending an appeal of his conviction. Following his release, he signed to Marion Suge Knight's label Death Row Records and became heavily involved in the growing East Coast-West Coast hip-hop rivalry. On September 7, 1996, Shakur was shot 4 times by an unidentified assailant in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. He died 6 days later. Following his murder, Shakur's friend-turned-rival, the notorious B.I.G., was at first considered a suspect due to their public feud. He was also murdered in another drive-by shooting 6 months later in March 1997, while visiting Los Angeles. Shakur's double-length posthumous album Greatest Hits, 1998, is one of his 2 releases, and one of only 9 hip-hop albums to have been certified diamond in the United States. 5 more albums have been released since Shakur's death, including his critically acclaimed posthumous album The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, 1996, under his stage name Machiavelli, all of which have been certified platinum in the United States. In 2002, Shakur was inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. In 2017, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. Rolling Stone ranked Shakur among the 100 greatest artists of all time. In 2023, he was awarded a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Early life. A bird's-eye view of New York City, looking north from 96th Street, along 2nd Avenue, towards East Harlem. The intersection in view is 97th Street. East Harlem, the neighborhood of New York City where Shakur was born. Shakur was born on June 16, 1971, in East Harlem, Upper Manhattan, New York City. While born Lesane Parish Crooks, at age 1 he was renamed Tupac Amaru Shakur. He was named after Tupac Amaru II, the descendant of the last Incan ruler, who was executed in Peru in 1781 after his failed revolt against Spanish rule. Shakur's mother Afeni Shakur explained, "I wanted him to have the name of revolutionary, indigenous people in the world. I wanted him to know he was part of a world culture and not just from a neighborhood." Shakur had an older stepbrother, Maprim Kamani Shakur, and a half-sister, Sekiwa Shakur, 2 years his junior. Panther heritage. Shakur's parents, Afeni Shakur, born Alice Faye Williams in North Carolina, and his biological father, William Billy Garland, had been active Black Panther Party members in New York in the late 1960s and early 1970s. 27. A month before Shakur's birth, his mother was tried in New York City as part of the Panther 21 criminal trial. She was acquitted of over 150 charges. Other family members who were involved in the Black Panthers' Black Liberation Army were convicted of serious crimes and imprisoned, including Shakur's stepfather, Mutula Shakur, who spent 4 years among the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives. Majestic Shakur was apprehended in 1986 and subsequently convicted for a 1981 robbery of a Brinks armored truck, during which police officers and a guard were killed. Shakur's godfather, Elmer Geronimo Pratt, a high-ranking Black Panther, was convicted of murdering a school teacher during a 1968 robbery. After spending 27 years in prison, his conviction was overturned due to the prosecution's having concealed evidence that proved his innocence. Shakur's godmother, Assata Shakur, is a former member of the Black Liberation Army, who was convicted of the first-degree murder of a New Jersey state trooper and is still wanted by the FBI. Murder of Tupac Shakur. On the night of September 7, 1996, Shakur was in Las Vegas, Nevada, to celebrate his business partner Tracy Danielle Robinson's birthday and attended the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson boxing match with Suge Knight at the MGM Grand. Afterward, in the lobby, one of Knight's associates spotted Orlando "Baby Lane" Anderson, a Southside Compton Crip, and told Shakur he had tried to rob them earlier that year. The hotel surveillance footage shows the ensuing assault on Anderson. Shakur soon stopped by his hotel room and then headed with Knight to his Death Row nightclub, Club 662, in a black BMW 750iL sedan, part of a larger convoy. At about 11 p.m. on Las Vegas Boulevard, bicycle-mounted police stopped the car for its loud music and lack of license plates. The plates were found in the trunk and the car was released without a ticket. At about 11:15 p.m. at a stoplight, a white, four-door, late-model Cadillac sedan pulled up to the passenger side and an occupant rapidly fired into the car. Shakur was struck 4 times, once in the arm, once in the thigh, and twice in the chest, with one bullet entering his right lung. Shards hit Knight's head. Frank Alexander, Shakur's bodyguard, was not in the car at the time. He would say he had been tasked to drive the car of Shakur's girlfriend, Kid Ada Jones. Shakur was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, where he was heavily sedated and put on life support. In the intensive care unit on the afternoon of September 13, 1996, Shakur died from internal bleeding. He was pronounced dead at 4:03 p.m. The official causes of death are respiratory failure and cardiopulmonary arrest associated with multiple gunshot wounds. Shakur's body was cremated the next day. Members of the Outlaws, recalling a line in his song, Black Jesus, although uncertain of the artist's attempt at a literal meaning, chose to interpret the request seriously, smoked some of his body's ashes after mixing them with marijuana. In 2002, investigative journalist Chuck Phillips, after a year of work, reported in the Los Angeles Times that Anderson, a Southside Compton Crip, having been attacked by Suge and Shakur's entourage at the MGM Hotel after the boxing match, had fired the fatal gunshots, but that Las Vegas police had interviewed him only once, briefly, before his death in an unrelated shooting. Phillips's 2002 article also alleges the involvement of Christopher "Notorious B.I.G." Wallace and several within New York City's criminal underworld. Both Anderson and Wallace denied involvement, while Wallace offered a confirmed alibi. Music journalist John Leland, in the New York Times, called the evidence inconclusive. In 2011, via the Freedom of Information Act, the FBI released documents related to its investigation which described an extortion scheme by the Jewish Defense League classified as a right-wing terrorist group by the FBI that included making death threats against Shakur and other rappers, but did not indicate a direct connection to his murder. On July 18, 2023, the Las Vegas Police Department executed a search warrant in connection with Shakur's murder. On September 29, 2023, the AP reported that Las Vegas police had arrested a suspect, Dwayne "Kef D. Davis, in Shakur's murder. Police had 2 months previously served a search warrant at his wife's home in the Las Vegas suburb of Henderson. On September 29, 2023, the AP reported that Las Vegas police had arrested a suspect, Dwayne "Kef D. Davis, in Shakur's murder. Police had 2 months previously served a search warrant at his wife's home in the Las Vegas suburb of Henderson. Nevada police detained Dwayne Keith D. Davis today, September 29, and a grand jury indicted him in the killing of Shakur, the Associated Press reports. Davis, who has long been known to investigators, has admitted in interviews and in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, that he was in the Cadillac with Shakur's shooter. He is now the first person to be arrested in direct connection with the killing. In court today, a prosecutor announced that Davis was also charged with the intent to promote, further, or assist a criminal gang. Davis's arrest and indictment followed the execution of a search warrant in Henderson, Nevada, in July, related to the ongoing investigation. The house that police investigated belongs to Davis's wife. Las Vegas police have long maintained their case was hampered by a lack of cooperation from witnesses, though independent investigations have unearthed significantly more information than what has been revealed by law enforcement. The case originates in May 1996 when Orlando "Baby" Lane Anderson allegedly assaulted Trayvon "Trey" Lane, associate of Death Row Records boss Suge Knight, at a shoe store. On September 7, after a boxing match between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Lane told Shakur he saw Anderson in the lobby. Shakur then led an assault on Anderson that security cameras captured. He returned to his hotel room at the Luxor before departing with Knight for Club 662, where he was scheduled to perform at a charity event. En route, a white Cadillac pulled up to the passenger side of Shakur's car. The shooter rolled down the rear seat window of the Cadillac and fired a .40 SNW Glock 22, hitting Shakur 4 times. One bullet entered Shakur's right lung, and the musician was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada to receive treatment. He died 6 days later after the removal of his right lung caused respiratory failure and cardiac arrest. Anderson was arrested in a gang sweep 1 month later. Investigators interviewed Anderson and identified him as the man in the surveillance footage, but did not charge or arrest him, believing the person in the footage could not have killed Shakur. Lieutenant Larry Spinoza told reporters, "At this point, Orlando Anderson is not a suspect in the shooting of Tupac Shakur." 2 months after the shooting, in November 1996, Yaki Gaddafi, a New Jersey native and member of Shakur's group Outlaws, was murdered in a housing project in Irvington, New Jersey. Gaddafi, who famously appeared on the diss track "Hit 'Em Up," was riding in the car behind Shakur's and witnessed the shooting. He initially refused to cooperate with police, but later said he could possibly identify the assailants. He died before he was interviewed. Outlaws member Idi Amin and Shakur's bodyguard Frank Alexander told the Los Angeles Times in March 1997 that they were in the car directly behind Shakur's at the time of the murder. Alexander said he saw the killer's face, while Idi Amin said he saw all 4 men in the vehicle. Police told the Times that the 2 men's accounts could lead to a breakthrough in the case. By September 1997, 1 year after the shooting, Las Vegas Metro Police had no leads. Lead investigator Sergeant Kevin Manning told the Las Vegas Sun, "We're at a standstill." Anderson, who was briefly a suspect but never arrested or charged, sued Shakur's estate, claiming he suffered physical injuries and severe emotional and mental distress from the assault at the MGM Grand. Days later, Tupac's mother Afeni Shakur, frustrated by the lack of progress in the murder case, sued Anderson for wrongful death. Her lawyer, Richard Fishbein, said, "The Las Vegas police have as much interest in solving this crime as the man on the moon. I believe I cannot do any worse than they have." Anderson was shot and killed in a shootout at a car wash in Compton, California, in May 1998, 18 months after Shakur's murder. The Los Angeles Times' Chuck Phillips was behind a September 2002 feature with new details about the case. Immediately after the shooting, he reported, the LAPD's Compton gang unit had been flooded with tips implicating the Crips and "Baby" Lane, Anderson's nickname. A week later, the Compton gang unit told Las Vegas police they believed the Southside Crips were responsible for the murder and that Anderson was the shooter. In 2009, Dwayne "Keith D. Davis, the man arrested today, was questioned by Los Angeles police in connection with the murder of Christopher, the notorious B.I.G. Wallace. Davis was a Crips member and Anderson's uncle. He confessed that he was involved in Shakur's 1996 murder. In a recording of the interview, Davis fingered Anderson as the shooter. A Las Vegas Metropolitan Police detective investigating the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac Shakur testified before a grand jury in September that detectives had a theory that his murder and the murder of rapper Biggie Smalls may have been related. In the transcript of a Clark County grand jury proceeding from last month, retired Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Detective Clifford Mogg said that detectives who investigated Shakur's murder believed that people associated with both murders were involved. Mogg later added that the theory was accurate that they were related. He didn't specify what the theory was, but did say Dwayne Davis, who was recently charged for the murder of Shakur, was not involved. When you say they were related, you're not saying perpetrated by the same individuals? Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DiGiacomo said, and Mogg responded, that's correct. Mogg also said in another grand jury session that he believes Davis spoke publicly about his involvement in the shooting death of Shakur because he sought financial gain. So, did he at any time state why he did so many interviews, being that no one had been actually charged for the murder? If he was involved, why is he speaking out so much? DiGiacomo asked. The only reason that I can see now that he is doing all of these interviews is monetary gain, Mogg replied. Mogg testified further that one of the reasons behind the July 2023 search of Davis's house was to determine whether he had received any payments or remuneration connected to his claims of participation in Shakur's death. As part of the grand jury testimony, Mogg read sections of Davis's book, Compton Street Legend, to illustrate his description of him participating in a gang and to share the details therein about the events surrounding Shakur's death. Davis, who has been charged with murder, has placed himself at the scene of the crime for years, stating publicly he was in the front seat of a white Cadillac when it pulled up alongside Shakur's car and shots rang out from the back seat. Shakur was shot 4 times and died 6 days later. Shakur died in September 1996 in Las Vegas. Smalls, born Christopher Wallace, was also shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in March 1997 in Los Angeles. We have reached the end of this video. If you liked its content, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to my channel and activate the bell so that as soon as I upload another video, it will reach you first. Thank you for watching.